Well,
Could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they
Senator
voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality
Could that have been
that the
a
reason-
motivation for the way they voted?
and it relates very closely to what Senator
Could
Lee
that
said.
have been a motivation for the way they
reason
voted?
That you've seen an inefficient
Could that have
IRS,
been a motivation
If you
for
allow the
way they
witness to
voted?
answer, you might get your answer, Senator
it
Kennedy.
frankly couldn't have been.
It
because
could or couldn't?
It could not have been.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Because the reason why you've seen
You
an
just
IRS
made this
that
statement that
hasn't been
every Republican.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heated Senate exchange between Senator John Kennedy and Yale Law Professor Sarin. The clash centered on a tweet about House Republicans, Israel, and taxes. Things got intense, accusations were thrown, and the committee chair had to step in. Stick around as I break this down in 10 key points that will leave you shocked. So here's what went down.
We now turn to Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all of our witnesses today.
Wait, listen.
Professor Sarin, you're a professor at Yale Law School?
I am.
Okay. And I see you've been pretty active on Twitter. I'm looking at one of your tweets from a few months ago, October 30th, 2023. I'd like to read it to you. The House Republican stance is, I kid you not, support for Israel as long as we make it easier for people to cheat on their taxes. End quote. Did you tweet that?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. How many Republican congressmen or women did you talk to before you made that statement?
I was reacting to the fact that, and we've talked about it actually
Yes,
so
ma'am,
far
but
in this.
first, if you could, how many Republican congresswomen or congressmen did you talk to?
I didn't talk to them. I actually was just reacting to the legislation that was proposed.
You
and
didn't talk to
passed.
you didn't talk to any of them
No, sir.
before you said that every single one of them supports Israel only if it is made easier for people to cheat on their taxes?
I actually don't think that every single one of them believes
But
that.
that's what you
But I
said.
do think that the legislation passed by the House reflects a statement of purpose that in order to support Israel, it's
But I'm
important
looking at
to
what you said.
allow
what your
taxpayers to
students
be able
saw.
to cheat
You
on their
said
taxes.
that every single House Republican, none of whom you talked to, would only support Israel if it was made easier for Americans to cheat on their taxes. Now, you said that, and you didn't talk to any of them.
Senator Kennedy,
Didn't you?
I am struck by, and perhaps this is something on which we agree, that it is incredibly important to support Israel. It is also incredibly important to make sure that taxpayers at the
I'm
top
not,
of the distribution
we agree on
pay their
Israel,
fair
but I
share.
just can't believe you would say this about members of Congress. It's pretty pejorative, vicious. Let me finish. Without talking to them. I mean, would it be possible for somebody to support a reduction to the IRS budget because they simply believe the federal government ought to have a balanced budget? Would that be a fair position?
That
Would that be a principled position?
Except that that actually doesn't work with respect to defunding
But would
the
it be a
IRS.
principled position?
It wouldn't be an accurate position because
Okay.
defunding
But you don't
the
know because you
IRS
didn't talk to anybody, did you?
Well,
You just said it.
Defunding the IRS, the CBO agrees, everyone who's testifying today agrees that that is going to add to deficits, not reduce
Could it be that a House Republican wanted to reduce the IRS's budget because they think that the IRS is a model of inefficiency and shouldn't be rewarded with more money?
Well,
Could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they
Senator
voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality
Could that have been
that the
a
reason-
motivation for the way they voted?
and it relates very closely to what Senator
Could
Lee
that have
said,
been a motivation for the way they
reason
voted?
that you've seen an inefficient
Could that have
IRS.
been a motivation
If you
for
allow
the
the
way they
witness to
voted?
answer, you might get your answer, Senator
It
Kennedy.
frankly couldn't have been.
It
because
could or couldn't?
It could not have been.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Because the reason why you've seen
You
the
just
IRS
made this
that
statement that
hasn't been able.
every Republican in the House supports Israel only if it has been made easier for people to cheat on their taxes. Could it be that maybe a House member thought that, well, the more money we spend, the more deficits we have, and the more deficits we have, the more pressure is put on interest rates, and the higher interest rates go, the more it hurts the poor.
Senator Kennedy put Professor Sarin on the hot seat over a tweet she made. In that tweet, she claimed Republicans only support Israel if it also means making it easier for Americans to cheat on their taxes. That's a bold statement, and Kennedy wasn't going to let it slide. Kennedy pressed Sarin hard, asking if she had spoken to any Republicans before making such a sweeping accusation. Sarin admitted she hadn't talked to anyone directly. Her view came from the legislation that was passed. Kennedy fired back, suggesting that Republicans could have voted the way they did for other, more principled reasons, like reducing government inefficiency or controlling defects. Here's where it got fiery. Sarin pushed back, saying defunding the IRS actually increases deficits. She cited the Congressional Budget Office and other experts who agree. But Kennedy wouldn't let go. He kept asking if there was any possibility that Republicans had other motivations. Sarin flatly said no. This back and forth kept escalating, and the tension was real. Kennedy then slammed Sarin's comments as vicious and appalling, even calling them immature. At this point, the committee chair stepped in. He warned Kennedy that personal insults against witnesses wouldn't be tolerated. But Kennedy pushed back, saying he was just testing credibility. He even compared some witnesses' credibility to Michael Avenatti's. That's when Sarin shot back with a mic drop line. "I hope I passed." Now let me pause right here. What do you think? Was Senator Kennedy right to call her out, or was he going too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. At the end of the day, this exchange wasn't just about Israel or taxes. It was about political messaging, credibility, and how far lawmakers will go to test witnesses. Whether you side with Kennedy or Sarin, one thing is clear. This debate showed just how fiery these hearings can get. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.